Welcome. This is Crime Queen, and if you're joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. Okay, so we are on our path of actualizing self love. Of course, we're working with the template, opening our third eye, and if you are new, we work from this template of sacrifice. Reason for this is that we realize that the word sacrifice, well, what we've learned sacrifice to mean, has such impact. In fact, perhaps that has shaped our whole human race to some extent. And believing. So, believing, of course, there is a lie in the word believe, right in the middle. So, it's okay to believe. All right. And I was told to carry myself. It's really that thing where people really don't want to take responsibility and they say, oh, because someone told me to. I did it because someone told me to. I believe there is a time to do what you are told. Told. It's that going back to that T again, that kind of agreement that is being done around the table. And I believe that K here is the table. In fact, that K here, I think, is the master table. And of course, the T, I think, is a nail. Whatever. There's so much happening there. It's like while I'm talking about this, I could see like many pictures of, people moving, but it's not quite clear. But it will happen. It will happen. But I find that each time I'm doing the presentations, it's like there are messages. There are messages. So, anyhow, it will all come to light because Christ is light. Yes. And the light of the world. And of course, we are in the light of the world. We are told to shine our light. Now, if we all decide to shine our light, of course, we must see what is yet to be discovered. As it goes, I think it's a full or new moon. New moon today. Wow, wow, wow. I love new moons. Well, I love any moon. But of course, it's the time for cleansing, and I believe, or starting new things, definitely. Yes. Communication. Yes. And hence, firing on all cylinders. Moon or no moon. There we go. But what I noticed, if you recall in my past presentation, I said that I knew or I felt that there was a place apart from that bucket or that table in that tea that we could really achieve having the ability or the resources that we need. In fact, I don't really believe that you really get the resources or instruments or anything like that in this here. I think this is just the partnership that goes on. It's where discussions are held. It's where people make promises. Some of them keep them, some of them don't. And of course, if everyone kept their promise, it would be I don't know, perhaps it's good in some cases that some people don't. But this is where, and yes, the back door. Yeah, this is where that happens. Hence, there is a need to have luck and to be victorious here. So it just reminds me when Christ said, I'll set you free or save or whatever, sorry, to that effect. What I am seeing here is that this V here, which I have already pointed out, really coincides with Eve, the mother of all living. Is her spirit is there with you, accompanying you to that place. But what happens is, after we have got here and we get to that developmental stage, I hope you have been following this presentations just enough to understand that there was a D here that over a period of time we have felt that that D, which the invisible hand stopped me from shifting its position, was really a deed that is denoting the psyche, the human, the person, the individual. You could even say the country, the nation. It depends on on what path you're on. But that hair is that 4. Now, what I was also thinking, well, in that case, why would we have to go after doing all this hair? Why would we need to go to the new? But there we get also, there is a certificate you get in this department, and I'll tell you why. Apart from that, V validates that. It also means on the word sacrifice, R equals 9. Yes, there's no getting away. It's like you go through those stages. It's stages of development, cycles on top of cycles and into cycles. Sometimes you just really, it is just that. Because take myself from experience. Okay, I went to secondary school, and then I went through a whole lot of development, and I think I was pretty old, and I said pretty old, well, I was a mature student when I decided I want to go to college again, and then I went on to uni. So it was all that developmental stage. I came lucky, if you like, and I done this. And of course, that developmental stage, especially at that age, equaled 9. 9 under the sacrifice. There was that cross I had to bear. I had to bear that cross because I wanted to move into a new direction. Now, whether Christ's spirit was with me, or Eve's spirit was with me, or one of them, my grandparents or whoever, I felt, yes, there was a spirit within me. One, according to the scriptures, that quickened my mortal body to the beauty of his holy name. I love the idea that, I can make a choice and have all these lovely words to make myself feel good, and feeling that I'm going to the right side. So there we are. So it's like we are given, because I was thinking, well, why wouldn't we have a developmental stage here? Of course, and as well, 3 falls a 12, and that would be also a representation of the 12 disciples with Christ in this part here. So we see, and this is the M, the B here, these terms here, we see these reflecting, and that's what people have learned to manipulate the M, turn the 3 upside down, McDonald's, whoever it is, manipulate all these M's, and they too have their victories in it. This stage here, it's like it does not discriminate. Again, perhaps that's what it means with Christ says, come all, or whatever. If you just say that Christ is your savior, that Jesus Christ came to die for you, it doesn't matter who you are. Yes, he'll save you. He'll still take you onto that end. And so all kinds of things are still happening here. I think so. I'm just exploring. Yeah. So, because Christ knows, or when you get to that new, you're on your own. You've got to really do that big sacrifice. You have to go to the Inland Revenue and pay your debt. Because whatever you do here, you won't get away with it. Not with ill intention. You will have to go to headquarters zone, and make an account, or really check your account. The balance sheets, which is the 3 8s are 24, 2 and 4 is 6, which is supposed to be the number of love. If it's not in the love zone, you're sucked. Yes, that's what I think, because perhaps a little bit of experience too, but because I have had to go into the headquarters zone, I have had to check my accounts, and I didn't really like the figures, but I like to know that I have done right. It's just that thing, it makes me feel good. Okay, and so it's really, you've done a journey. Back to our third eye, you've done a journey, and you really want to sort of say, you just reminisce about it. And it may take years, because that journey was so intense, so compact, so much was going on. Because by the time you leave developmental street, let's call it developmental street or developmental city. City is more appropriate because I think that that would be the city that Luke would have had to go to and find a man. Yes, and find a man with the pitcher of water. The pitcher of water. Let's see that. So I believe this is where that Luke would have gone to. Find, because 2 and 2 is 4. We see 4 happens here. We see 9 is happening here. 9 is where the sacrifice is, discussing, and that's the developmental stage. They're not going back. They've done their it seemed like there's another set of something that happens here in these 4 corners. Of course, I think that is also where Christ, yes, went to fast for 40 days and 40 nights. So it would have been there, the 2 and 2, 4. But the man with the pitcher was an expert. That's what I think it was. The man with the pitcher of water was an expert, and he would have to have something to do with hair as well. So we see 22 is 2 and 2, 4. There are 4 corners of the earth here, and this is where he has to prove his competence to carry his cross. Because remember, just like that cross here, it was kind of like, and if you see most of those photographs, the X is a little bit wonky. Well, it's not held straight like this, because of course it has to rest on the shoulder. So that was what was going on here. So Christ, of course, he's done that journey, and he promises. I like the way this 22 is here. So remember again, there was thing about water. So water is 22. 22 still goes here. And let's see where this... Let's just pay attention to this. So water, the R ends here. Let's follow this line here. It goes, okay, that takes you into the new. So that would mean where he was, of course, opening his third eye on the cross, forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. This is really denoting another sacrificial stage, but it's the number of love, because he's really asking for love here. And there's another W here. So water, love, and redemption. And of course, with that L here, tells him that he's going forward over to the right, over to... It is really a cold, icy event. I can tell you that through experience. And it's not the most pleasant place to be here. But there is also, it's like a bittersweet thing, because there's expectations. You have high expectations, and thanks to people like Christ who have done the route before, who tells you, yes, when you do it, the kingdom, the sweetness, the milk and honey, all those things will be added onto you. And, you build your faith and believe. Okay. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. I hope you found it fun. Also, I hope you found it very beneficial. So, if you like this presentation, click the like button, that thing on the mouse, whatever it is that you do, just click to go to the right, because we are moving to the right, and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self love. In the meantime, stay bliss-filled. I have to be honest that I wrote it down somewhere. Be filled. Okay. In the meantime, be filled and be bright and stay ignited. Yes, namaste. And spill over with love. We'll get